What's up, everyone? My name is Vanessa, and welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time here, this is where I post my random ramblings about things that are annoying me in the world. Sometimes it's political, sometimes it's cultural, oftentimes it's spiritual. I just do a variety of different types of content, but for context, I used to be a brainwashed leftist who hated God, and now here I am talking to all of you. So today I wanted to talk about a new medical phenomenon that has apparently taken America by storm. And I'm a little concerned, okay, because I'm not sure. I think there's a vaccine for it. I'm not sure, maybe, perhaps, but there's an epidemic that's going around right now. And I wanted to talk about it and maybe give you guys my perspective on this phenomenon. And you may have heard of it. It's called black fatigue. When I first heard this term, I laughed. It is so obvious that people are trying to describe something that they can't actually put into words, and so they go with black fatigue. And yeah, I just wanted to talk about it and give you my 2 cents, because I think this term is an oversimplification, but I'm getting too far ahead of myself. Let me just elaborate on what this is to begin with, okay? So black fatigue is the exhaustion that people are feeling dealing with certain types of black folks. And so the exhaustion, I think, is stemming from the last couple of years with all of the super woke black leftist rhetoric that we've been hearing. Everything from we want reparations, systemic racism, institutionalized racism, white supremacy, white privilege, all of the jargon that you tend to expect from black leftists, where they're complaining about something and putting all of the blame on everything that's external and never anything having to do with the decisions that they make. It's always their fault. And I think people are really annoyed with that type of rhetoric. There are also other people who say black fatigue, but they're actually describing more of the ghetto, ratchet, twerking in the middle of ongoing traffic type of behavior, which I too am also exhausted with. I have zero tolerance for ghetto nonsense. And this type of black person that I'm describing is what many people within the black community, I say this loosely again because I don't see myself as part of any collective, but this is what a lot of black people tend to describe as niggas. Okay, those tend to be the 2 types of things that people are describing when they're saying they are suffering from black fatigue. They're either sick of the wokeness, sick of the black leftism, or they're sick of the ratchet ghetto crap. But even so, I think these 2 examples are an oversimplification of what the real problem is. The real problem is something called idolatry. If you want to get specific, black idolatry. The fundamental reality for everyone, whether you call yourself religious or not, is that we all center our lives around something. Okay? So if it's not God, it's going to be something else. And that is ultimately going to determine the worldview that you live by. All of your values and principles, that is all based on what you put at the center of your life. So there's a reason why in the 10 commandments, the first 2 is you shall have no other gods before me, and you shall not worship idols. I know what I look like. I'm not blind. I see myself in the mirror every day, but I am not going to build my life on something as superficial as skin color. It's an immutable characteristic, and it tells me nothing about how I ought to live. Now, let's look at the niggas. what do they put at the center of their lives? I mean, whatever you want. Sex, money, affirmation, literally whatever they want. Have you ever gone through the hood? Okay, lock your doors. But have you ever gone through the hood? Okay, I live in the good hood. Not as bad as like Chicago or anything like that, but I live in the good hood. And I understand what it's like to live in a community where people have no respect for their neighbor. They have no respect for their surroundings because everything is about me, 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 me. And the problem is the black leftists, the wokies, the one that are always complaining about systemic racism and white supremacy. Yeah. Oftentimes make excuses for the nigga side. You're anti-black. You don't understand their struggle. You know, you don't know their life. You don't know their experience. I know life is hard. I get that. I understand. That still doesn't give you an excuse to make bad decisions. And then on top of that, blame other people instead of taking ownership for those bad decisions. And then we wonder why there is such a thing as black fatigue. We wonder why. And I can tell you why. It all boils down to a group of people who, instead of putting God first, put themselves first, put their skin color first, their wants, their desires, their passions. They put all of that above God. And now they're wondering why people are tired of their crap.